right, another part of the Michelle Joy Phelps behind the gloves interview with Tyson Fury. He says that the Deontay Wilder rematch will happen in December 2019, but Bob Arum said it might happen early 2020, and then Deontay Wilder next two opponents already worked out, with Dominique Brazil. After Dominique Brazil, then they talking Luis Ortiz rematch, and Adam Kownacki both told Eddie Hearn, I believe he said they both already promised a Deontay Wilder fight. So, Brazil, he fighting Brazil next week. Could he come back August, September, and then could he squeeze a fight in December? Yeah, so maybe Fury and Wilder could fight early 2020 unless he's willing to kick one of his opponents to the side. But Wilder said he got a plan. He really trying to box AJ out. Kownacki and Ortiz are two major players in the division. He's able to get Deontay Wilder's able to get Fury on pay-per-view. That's a major key right there. We back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for showing love. Make sure you jab that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon button. Won't miss another video. And, yeah, man. So pretty much Fury said he want to fight him in December. I heard Bob Arum said early 2020 they want to build Fury name up. But fighting time sorts and then fight another lower level name this year. And him fighting on ESPN Plus app is not going to blow him up. The ESPN Plus app is made up of majority of UFC MMA fans and not that many boxing fans. You can't get this dude exposure fighting on the Plus app. He needs to be fighting on ESPN. But then again, once people see Tyson Fury fight, he's just not entertaining. He's not what sells in the heavyweight division. What sells in the heavyweight division is knockouts. And, AJ's producing some knockouts. Wilder's producing some knockouts. I mean, even the boys at this point is producing some knockouts. Shit, Joe Joyce producing knockouts. Ortiz has produced knockouts in the end, but Fury is just not a knockout puncher. Nobody want to see a big white guy just dance around there on twinkle toes, you know what I'm saying, and box and move. He's just not an entertaining fighter. You go back to the Vladimir Klitschko fight, it just wasn't an entertaining fight. So I don't know how much they could build his profile up. I think it's more about him getting physically right after the Wilder fight, getting sane, getting his sanity back, making sure he all the way there. Because if he would have went into a Wilder rematch and he wasn't all the way there, and then we don't know how much left of Wilder is either. If Fury took something out of Wilder, he has something like a 40-50 weight advantage. So apparently Wilder's putting on, putting on 15 more pounds. Maybe he come in at 230. I heard he 225 already. He looking kind of hawkish, so he making adjustments and he getting back to basics, working on fundamentals. And I know people going to laugh when he say that because he ain't too much of a fundamental fighter. But that's what make Wilder unique with his unorthodox, hybrid, type of fighting style. But Tyson Fury goes on to say that Wilder ain't got a chance to beat him. He was only 40% of himself. And this time he ain't got to cut weight. But when you the same guy saying you the best Tyson, this the best Tyson Fury you ever been, it's a new chapter. You see how people just, be lying or just be trying to psych themselves up, whatever aspect it was. Maybe he was lying saying he wasn't the better Tyson Fury, or maybe he lying now and saying that, he was shit then and now he better now. But to be quite honest, I don't really care about seeing the rematch, man. That ain't one of the fights I desire. The only fight I really care to see is Wilder and Joshua. It's not imperative that Wilder fight Fury. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, I don't give a shit if it happened, if it don't happen. I wasn't impressed by the first fight until the end. The fight was just Deontay Wilder clubbing shots and winging shots to the head and missing shit. And Tyson Fury was, making a miss and he was doing a little bit of countering, but he really wasn't doing nothing and causing no damage. In the heavyweight fight, your casual fans and everybody, hardcore purist fans, and anybody in between, we want to see damage. But the 12th round, it's kind of like the end games. You know what I'm saying? The end games where, and I'm talking about the Avengers, where the movie was good enough to hold your attention. Even though my daughter went to sleep in the first 20 minutes, it was good enough to hold your attention. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like bad, Fury Wilder fight or Avengers. But hey, you glad you sat through it for the first couple hours, or the first 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds, because when you got to the 12th round and when you got to the end of the Avengers, it made up for everything that it lacked at the end. And I think that's how Wilder and Fury was. It made up everything that it lacked at the end. I thought Fury closed it out. I didn't go back and score it. I might do some rescoring today. So some rescoring videos. I might go back and watch some fights and rescore some fights today. Maybe Fury Wilder. Then I go back and score Harrison and Charlo too. I'm going to start rewatching some fights. The Cali Enigma. I'll make sure y'all subscribe to that brother. THA Cali Enigma Sports and ENT. telling me to go back and rewatch some fights and score them. So, maybe do some blasts from the past. I did them before. I think we did Pernell Whitaker and Chavez Jr. So I'm gonna go ahead and create that playlist, and we can just go back. I'll go back and rescore fights, and maybe you guys can go back and rescore them and drop your scorecards, scores in the comment section. But yeah, if it happened, I'm game for the rematch, but I just don't really care for it to happen. I just want Joshua to happen. But what Wilder's doing is he's trying to box out the competition, which is Anthony Joshua. He want to go ahead and knock out Ortiz and Osnowski, not who Joshua got the fight. And then if he can knock out Fury after that, or knock off Fury after that, then, they give him some more pay-per-view draw with ESPN, Walt Disney behind it. Maybe they doing a co-promotion with Fox or CBS, because Walt Disney owns Fox and he owns ESPN. They don't own the Fox Sports Networks no more, but they own Fox, so they had to sell those things off. And somebody bought them the other day. They didn't go to Ice Cube and LL Cool J, but yeah. So they, make it bigger, and then, maybe he rolled into a Joshua fight. So Deontay Wilder got to play it now. Apparently, I missed these comments. Tyson Fury made some questionable comments that he may be retiring. You know what I'm saying? He may be retiring. And people said, "Oh man, Fury might be retiring." He said, "No, he's not retiring." The quotes were took out of They was took out of context. So he said he's gonna be fighting for a long time. He don't plan to retire at all. So we got to worry about that. So we'll see how it go, man. He could easily beat Deontay Wilder, and I think Deontay Wilder putting on 15 more pounds could easily have stretched Tyson Fury with the first knockdown. So it's gonna get intriguing. Obviously, Deontay Wilder gonna be fighting a sharper, better competition. So that can make iron sharper iron. So if you fight better competition, that means you're going to be getting better and better and better. But at his age, at 34 years old, he could put more wear and tear on his body. He could start to deteriorate. Fury could be the fresher fighter. With activity, Fury could just stay sharper and not really go through the damage that Wilder go through. But, once again, when you get older, it's different. And for Wilder, even fighting some of these tough fights versus Kozlowski and Ortiz and Brazil, it's either going to keep him sharp and keep him on his P's and Q's and keep his activity rate good, or it's gonna hurt his body as well too. It's gonna destroy his ligaments, and he getting older. So Tyson Fury he getting older as well too. So he picking on easier opponents. So he's just trying to get his cobwebs out of his brain together, because he got stretched by Deontay Wilder a couple times, man. So with him, with Fury, it's like I think he just want to get his body together, get his mind together, stay sharp, stay busy. I think he probably gonna fight two or three times this year. And then he probably want to go into a Wilder fight, fresh, reinvigorated, and ready to go. But I don't know if Wilder did no permanent damage. But if Wilder clip him this time and he come in at 230, if I was Wilder, I would consider coming in versus Fury. I would build up to 235. I think that's a good weight for a heavyweight. I'll build up to 235 and try to clock him then. But I think it's still a good fight. Is my preference this happening before the Anthony Joshua fight? It really don't matter to me. I'd rather see the Joshua fight happen first. But, if this fight happened first, I think it would be stupid for this fight to happen first, because I think the winner of Joshua Wilder, if they fight 1, 2, 3 times, I think that's their big money fight after that, is fighting Tyson Fury. I think it's going to bring more money after you put an Undisputed. You put the Undisputed with a quote-unquote the fake lineal champ. That's how they playing it. I think it would be smart for Wilder to fight Fury after Joshua to give him an opponent. And then you had the boys building himself up. I don't know who's going to win, him and Gorman. Then you going to have dudes building. I think Jabba going to be on his way up. But if I'm Wilder, I'm looking to do what I'm doing, beat Joshua twice and beat Fury again. And then I'm retiring, bro. Real talk, I'm retiring. I want to get to 50-0, whatever knockouts, whatever the situation may be. I'll probably do a couple defenses of my title till I get to that mark. But after I get to that 50-0, whatever knockout record, man, that Rocky Marciano Joker thing, man, then I'm out, man. But hey, it is his prerogative. He got a long way to go. Both champions do. It's Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, or video request. Appreciate the love and support. If you want to make a donation, just share the video. It's the best way to donate. Links in the description as well if you want to make a financial donation. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV. We gone.